Welcome to another late ASF Game Review. And I'm going to be talking about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I probably messed that up, but, Xenoblade Chronicles on Switch. Um, yeah, and my experience with that game as, um, to me, it was a really good game. I think I put I want to say 80 or 100 hours into this game. And just to put it in perspective, I didn't play this game when it originally released on Wii. If you're not familiar with it, it's a RPG that was on the Wii. That was kind of weird that it was on the Wii, honestly, but the Switch version is a lot better, and especially being able to play in handheld mode makes a huge difference with this game, because you are gonna be grinding this game, let's say the least. But pretty much, and this is another game I completely beat on stream. Um, I'm sure there's some VODs or something of that part about it, but I started it maybe when it first dropped on Switch, and then I got into it for maybe an hour or two, and then kind of put it down for I want to say a year or two, and then I went back to the game, and I really what I really like about this game too. Is just the pure, it's an RPG. Basic, you go over to enemies and you could really grind in this game for hours, and then there's enemies that are way overpowered that you could run into easily, and there's just the a lot going on, I feel kind of, with this game. And the combat is a little more unique than just straight up turn based or an action RPG. It's kind of, I don't, it is weird because it's kind of in between. It's you have things you can choose, but the action's kind of auto loop, and then you have cooldowns that you could choose while you're fighting people, and then there's different abilities you can gain with each character too. Is interesting is the abilities are different, and then you can also customize the armor and the weapons, and then there's also I want to say I forgot what they're called. It's been a while since I played, but they're capsules or something, or stones or something like that, and you can adjust different abilities and give your character certain stats, and those things were pretty in depth once you started getting more into the game. Like with most RPGs, that first 5 hours, first 5 to 8 hours really of most RPGs is really learning the mechanics, and then getting familiar with the characters. And in this game, there is quite a few different characters that are all pretty good, rememberable storylines of what the characters are talking to, and there's so many lore moments where you can get extra content for per character. Um, Mind you, I'm forgetting some of their names right at the moment, because put me on the spot kind of. But I really like this game, and the fact that you can go and get more lore if you choose to, and build relationships with characters more throughout the game. And I think those are really done well when you want to do those. And some of the side questing was always with this game, it's a grindy. There's some of them are super grindy quests. You're gonna be oh, go kill 10 of these and 15 or whatever, that type task. And to me, RPGs are kind of yeah, you want some of that, right? And you want to go to new areas and try, and like this game especially, is I want to try to like kill stuff you're like not meant to try to like kill yet, and you get more experience. Higher level stuff is way harder in this game. Like if you're like level 30 something, you're not gonna kill level 70 something, or there's some monsters or creatures or almost like dinosaurs almost in this game. And that's kind of the concept. You're like on this gigantic like moving battling planet almost. It's such a strange weird game, but like the way they do it is pretty unique and cool. And you kind of like fight from like the legs to like you're building up to this like it's gigantic like ancient creature kind of, and but it's like the world. And you just kind of fight on that until at certain point you meet like people that are like trying to come to these towns and like kill everyone, and you're trying to stop them. And then it really gets to a point where like I mean I don't want to obviously spoil it, but like because I feel like if you like RPGs you need to play this, especially on Switch. And I haven't played the second or the third one yet, and I have those games and I really want to play through them, but I already know it's like when I begin it, that's $100. That's a month and a half of just that game or something. Or I'm looking forward to that. It's just when, right? And these games being on Switch is so awesome because then you can grind a lot, just not on the TV. So that's awesome too. So if you're like me, I like to play a lot of the main quests and everything on stream, and then just play some of the side questing and like the super grindy stuff where I'm like maybe I'm watching a TV show that I've seen, or comfort stuff, or you're watching Twitch, and then playing a game while watching that stuff or what is always fun. But this game has a lot of really cool mechanics. I like the animation in it. Is pretty like JRPG style, traditional type of style. There's no super crazy like big boob chick or something like that, but it's like almost classic anime, JRPG. Like I guess the original game when it come out, what, 2009 or 10, somewhere around there on Wii. So the graphics look better on this version, obviously, and I guess they fixed or changed some stuff where like maybe it runs a little better too. I'm not sure what else is added to the definitive edition besides like, hey, it's on Switch, better hardware. But like I said, I played this game a solid 80 to 100 hours, and I actually enjoyed a vast majority of it. The end, the last like 10 to 15 hours is a lot of grinding and a lot of leveling up, and was kind of difficult honestly to finish the last few bosses of this game. And they make it feel really epic. Like it's really like, like really big, and they make it seem like all that time you were working up to like going from character to character. Remember the Ricky character to all the other characters in the game. It's just really cool that they redid this game for Switch, because I feel like so many more people get to play it because of that. And if it was just on Wii, I feel like people would have really missed a really good classic JRPG that's like top notch. Like this is by far like one of the great JRPGs. Like you need to play it if you haven't played it. And then that I really feel they did this one, and then they came out with part 2 and 3 because maybe this one sold really well. I'd like to think that. And from what I've heard, the second and third one are even better. But this first one is a banger, and it's a classic. It kind of takes some getting used to the combat, but once you pick it up, you'll fall in love with all the characters. I really think you will. So, anyways, I just wanted to put a late game review of Xenoblade Chronicles and just talk about it a little bit in my experience with it. And I think it's one of those games like if you own a Switch and you're an RPG fan, definitely if you're an RPG fan, you own a Switch. But this is one of those games like it's a must play. And I feel like maybe the second, third one are too. I just have not gotten around to them as so many games, and but part two and part three are on my list to complete. This part here, I'm like remember the whole story pretty much and all the characters. I just don't want to spoil anything for anyone that like really wants to get into it. Um, and I think you enjoy it, just the uniqueness of this one, um, the abilities, and there's no RPG I've played that's like really super close to what it is. This one is like pretty unique, and it's not boring. The combat's fun enough to where it keeps you engaged, and you get different moves with the other characters that you learn to meet, and then you can do like synergy type moves that you can only do with certain characters, and then you can level those things up. And there's a lot of mechanics and stuff to it. It's definitely like at first it, along with almost most RPGs, especially JRPGs, it takes a while to get into. But once you do, this game is well worth playing. If I had to rate it, I'd probably say like 8.59 out of 10 for me, for on the scale of games like I really like, and I finished the whole game, and that's saying something for most games, especially really long 80 100 hour plus games. I try to finish a lot of those when I start them, but you don't always finish them. But this is one that I wanted to see the ending. I wanted to see character development. I wanted to see the lore, and I enjoyed the combat as more of it progressed as time went on. Anyways, I hope you like this review, and see you on the next one.